Alrighty, Mech Warrior is back working again. The computer's upgraded. I've got all the mechs fixed, and we are ready to do the Black Dragon. Sorry, not Black Dragon. Dragon's Gambit.
Welcome everybody to the Bad Drago Gambit.
Damn it, Drago. Just for that, I am going to punish you.
Yeah. So last month, almost exactly to the day, we played Mech Warrior and we were doing Dragon's Gambit. Unfortunately, Solaris dropped, and
broke the save games.
Till then, Red has taken upon himself. I don't know if he got Riziri and Shadow involved in this, but apparently we are locked into certain mechs that we're going to be using.
You're welcome.
He's got something planned, and the only thing I can think of is a House Steiner swarm.
Oh no! Oh no! We have to punish you for that comment you made earlier.
And yeah.
Go ahead and look.
Cool, I got the Hatamochi.
No. Go to the mission briefing. Those aren't the mechs we're using.
Continue. Hermes! Also, due to feedback from some of Red's friends, we will not be doing the same bullshit that we did last stream. Because according to them, they couldn't tell if I was drunk or high.
Or both.
Well, the exact quote was, "What the fuck crack is he on, and where can I get some?"
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Irby Derby.
So, the fun thing I love about the Urban Mech is what I can do here.
As we can turn all the way around.
Yeah, that's why I said.
Yep.
That's why I said spin to wins.
So, Blaze,
Yo.
we want to set up on top of a building.
If you can. I killed the Centurion, so...
We killed the Orion.
Yeah, I got the Orion.
Killed the Orion, killed the Blackjack, killed the Centurion. There should be another mech somewhere.
Well, I killed a Scorpion.
Yes, I killed several tanks. I don't think the tanks count.
You can't get on top of buildings.
That's a bullshit. Turn around and look at me, motherfucker. I am the greatest Irby to ever live.
Blaze,
Yes,
look at me.
in cockpit view, hold control.
If I fits, I sits.
In repelling these Davion raiders, demonstrate that bringing you into the fold was not.
Aw, did you have a premature?
Good to have you on board.
Yeah.
Commander.
I love how your arms say police on it.
These Fedcom rats outta here before
All of them do.
we wreck this whole damn place.
Yes.
So better
That's the skin.
point and dig in.
We got a
I
police
managed to
squad.
get that skin.
Feel it?
Hello, Mr. Assassin. Goodbye, Mr. Assassin. Ooh, a Warhammer.
I'm taking a
There's also a
beating.
mad... I'm sorry, why does he have... Why does he have PPCXs?
Because the yet another mech mod.
Yeah, he's a 3R. It shouldn't.
They don't.
Yeah, I'm about to get cored.
Yeah. Also, PPCXs should very not exist.
Field is clear.
Lagged.
Be secure.
You know what we should have. You know what we
They're
should have started yelling.
Anti-pigeon lasers.
You know what we should have started yelling
What?
at the enemy? Stop resisting! Stop resisting!
Oh God.
No.
You call this resisting arrest? We call this a difficulty tweak.
Because there will be
Bring your
blood.
hunchback out.
Hunchback? Okay.
You get to bring legs for less.
Yes, bring legs for less.
For those of you that are unaware, the reason why he's named his legs for less is because the third mission that I ran him on, both his legs got blown off. And
You also have a tendency to shoot everyone else's legs out from under them.
and the thing
Alright,
and the joke was I was going to call him Legoless, but Shadow and Red said no, we're calling him Legs for less.
Not a brawler.
Oh. It's discount
Technically.
samurai weeaboo.
Trash talk after your teeth are kicked down your throat.
Yeah, well, I'll accept that.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna toss you in Ghost Eye. Blaze? No! No! No overcompensation yet!
Alright, and
to
how
be
about
fair,
this?
if we
Just
do-
stick me in whatever mechs you want me to be in. How about that? Because I don't know what mech I'm allowed to use.
Do you still have that,
Did we use the king?
Megalovania Bushido version?
Yes.
So the fun part is we can actually keep up with it mostly.
Isn't this the one that we use the king crab on? You know what? Let's
YOLO?
let's run this
YOLO?
one. Let's
You
run
there?
this.
Yeah, I'm here. What do you need?
Time to dial in. The intel recovered from inside Nansu allows us to identify a series of high-value targets. Advance into the area of influence.
I love how he just zooms
Yeah, don't
straight
burn
off the
out the
line.
mast.
I know. I'm watching it.
They'll be on you like dogs on a bone. The atmospheric terrain could affect asset visibility. Fight. You're cleared, huh? Punch through 'em.
Yeah, I cut off half of his body.
I know.
Boys on their heels.
That looked exactly like the Marauder meme. Ooh, that sounded.
Hang on.
Yeah, that Marauder was just flailing against you as you sliced him apart.
Income.
Battlemaster. That's a threat. You missed. That didn't miss.
But
Blaze, take a look at the Marauder.
You have to accept
There you
yourself.
There's nothing left.
was that my sword?
Yeah,
Yes.
you swung it sideways. Ow.
So, Blaze did magic Bushido hands. I told you guys I used to deliver pizzas.
So you were the pizza delivery dude?
Yes,
dude
I was the
with
pizza guy.
food?
I have so many damn stories from working pizza delivery, which honestly, most of them were ridiculous. But I have a couple of favorites that stand out. One of my favorites, this is the one I most enjoyed. So I worked pizza delivery for 2 years until I got fired for losing my shit and screaming at one of the kids who I worked with. My bad, I shouldn't have done it, even if they deserved it for what they said.
You should have been an improper
Yes.
man and just punched him in the face.
What I should have done was gone to the management and reported them for sexual harassment. Because
my.
when I'm hauling 3 deliveries out, one of them looked up at me and said, 3 at a time, you go, girl, in a sexually suggestive voice.
Yeah, I would have reported him for sexual harassment and taken his ass to civil court.
I lost my shit and screamed at them. So rather than just them being fired, I got fired too.
Gonna take more than that. Keep blasting it.
I think I just headshotted the Highlander.
Finish it off. Effective hit. 14th Legion base is down.
All right, you got an awesome and a Black Knight closing in on you. Putting some fire on that awesome. He's got LRM, so he's a bit more of a threat.
Core.
So before we deploy, I'll tell you the first story of the pizzeria. This one was really adorable and cute. So, as I was saying, I worked there for a couple of years, lost the job because lost my shit with a coworker, even if they deserved it. And one of the things I picked up was always have either a toy or a treat to distract the dog, because otherwise the dog is going to go either straight for you or straight for the pizza. So Kathy was one of my regulars. That is her real name, but good luck figuring out who she is with just that. And she got this Brazilian Mastiff puppy named Simon. Well, one of these days I get up there, and she had some sort of pit bull as well. But I get up there with a pizza delivery order, and the dogs come charging out the door. I take one look at the dogs. There's a Brazilian Mastiff on the right. There's a pit bull on the left. They're charging toward me, and I'm going, that is a lot of mass. So I reach into my pocket and grab this squeaky tennis ball, squeak it twice, and throw it.
Grenade out.
And the dogs immediately divert. It was basically throwing a decoy. It was one of the things that I did.
Warning, fire missile inbound. Deploying squeaky toy.
Interballistic missile incoming. Deploy the squeaky toy.
No. It is a fur missile, otherwise known as a bork noun.
Anyway, so I get to the door and I start handing Kathy the pizza, and she sees the dogs trying to brawl over the ball because, hey, it's a ball, there's two of them. And she looks at me and goes, you know you're not getting that back, right? And I go, oh, no worries. I expect those to be disposable. So she looks at me and asks, you are aware you're not getting that back, right? And I go, no worries, they're disposable. And then I start handing her the pizza, and we hear, squeak! Simon, the Mastiff, had figured out that the ball squeaked, and he just constantly was squeaking it and running around with the other dog trying to get the ball away from him. And he's just squeaking this thing constantly. And I get the pizza signed for us, and she paid with a card, and she takes the pizza, puts it inside, comes back with a tip for me. And finally, she just loses her shit, turns and yells at the dog, Simon! And the dog stops. Almighty mom voice has been activated. And he looks at her, and the ball is hanging out the right side of his mouth between his teeth, and he squeaks it one more time. And I just started busted a gut laughing on the spot. Same rules as last time when you were running this thing, Blaze. Bring it back in one piece, and you are weapons free.
Do not shoot the allies. Then again, we're not going to be fighting near the allies, so...
Those boys will remain with him as a security shield. They'll be sitting ducks, so if you want to earn a few extra bags, make sure the whole lance makes it through.
Hit that Banshee, please.
I did.
Smash through the rest, and let's get our boy out of there. Now the odds are always stacked in their favor.
Hi, Mr. Panther. Goodbye, Mr. Panther.
Keep fighting. Been neutralized, General.
Blaze, look at this. Look toward me. Or not.
That's it. Keep piling them. Drop systems and propellants operational. Guidance systems online.
Target destroyed. Enemy target free.
Hi, bud.
Target destroyed. New target Hunchback. Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Enemy forces advancing on the perimeter. Contact imminent.
The frick were you running?
I shot him with a Gauss rifle.
No, that Wolverine came up and mauled me with something really rapid fire. Keep shooting.
New target vindicated.
All units, stand your ground. Keep suppressing their attack.
Say goodbye to your leg, buddy. Nice shot.
Thanks. I almost forgot I had the sniper cannon on this thing.
Hello, Mr. Grasshopper. Fuck you, Mr. Grasshopper.
Alert. Another Davion attack force crossing into the target area. Watch your sides. Don't let them envelop you.
Target destroyed. New target Thunderbolt.
The prospect of survivability looks grim, Commander. But we've fought through die rods many times before. Tango eliminated.
Blaze, on your six. Hit that Banshee. Nice shot.
Destroyed.
Torso armor red.
You or
Me.
copy?
Target. New target Atlas.
That's an Atlas. Blaze, focus that Atlas, please.
Acquired. New target Champion.
Thank you.
Ow, my arms. No armor arms.
Fall back.
Destroyed.
Yeah, the Atlas and the Champion combined to rip my arms off.
Target acquired.
Or at least the
Blaze,
armor.
you are front man.
Incoming missile.
Titan systems ratcheting up to max. Well played kill shot, my friend.
I managed to headshot the frickin' awesome.
Nice.
If you find the acquisition, just walk up to it
Ooh.
in order to pick it up.
Also, where the fuck are the enemies? I'm not
I think we
complaining,
already
but
killed them.
I'm not complaining, but
They fear the
where are all the fucking
overcompensation.
spawns?
They fear the overcompensation.
Please tell me that's what we've actually named his thing.
That is what we named it. That's what it's called.
You were there when we named it, Shadow.
I don't remember.
So we have Hani's Revenge, Overcompensation, Bowhammer, and Backblast. So, first, I had another story from that pizzeria. This one is,
Yeah,
you know,
sound bugs
this would go
fixed.
into, this would go on the Reddit about entitled people.
r/entitled pricks.
Yeah. This, I actually have posted it to, I have posted it there too. And I actually got featured in a YouTube video. So when I was working at that pizzeria, we had 3 positions that would be run every night. We had a manager, of course, but we had 3 primary positions. You had cooks, you had drivers, and then what was called the phone girls. Phone girls, their job was to answer the phone, take orders, and occasionally make salad. Most of these kids were teenagers, and a couple of them felt that they deserved more than they got. A little bit of background context. So the cooks and the phone girls had their own general tip pool. If you walked in and you bought a pizza and you left a tip, it went to them.
It went to the cooks and the phone girls and not the delivery drivers.
Yes.
Of course not.
The drivers only got tipped for deliveries.
Because that's their job.
On the average night, a phone girl or a cook would take home between $15 to $20. Drivers on an average night would take home between $80 and $120. But
Well,
you can
yeah.
probably understand why.
Because not
First
a lot of
off, we're
people.
using a lot of gas.
Also, you're generally going to tip higher on delivery than you're going to tip
Yes.
when you go there and pick up. If you tip at
If
all.
at all.
Now, the things that drivers have to deal with is first, we have a bit of a bigger risk. It does not matter the weather. We deliver. It does not matter if you have a dog or not. We deliver. Now, if you've been blacklisted, we don't deliver. But the only reason you're going to be blacklisted is if it is an active danger to the driver to deliver to you.
Meaning the driver cannot safely go to your house to deliver.
Yes.
Whether or not it's your fault.
Yeah. So, on average, drivers made between 80 and 120. Now, one of these phone girls got it into her head that the drivers should be required to split half of their tip with the rest of the restaurant. This was not, no, drivers should be required to put half of their tips into the general tip pool for everyone. It should be drivers are required to put half of their tips into the tip pool for the phone girls and the cooks.
Meaning, she was of the opinion that the drivers are making more tips, so they should give up half of their tips. That
You know
none of
that
the
money
other
that you
drivers get
rightfully
from it.
earned? Yeah, no, you're sharing it with us. It's communism now.
I honestly wish I would have thought about that. I honestly wish I would have thought of that line. Now, one of the things that you should know was I had a policy. If I got tipped more than $20, I would keep that $20 and half of the excess would go into the general pool. Or if a specific coworker was really helping me out that night, I'd give him some of my tip. Or if he's helping me with the dishes, because the drivers had to do the dishes. I made a habit of this and I was known for this. And I finally got sick and tired of this girl doing this one day. So I confronted her and said, look, by law, you can't force us to share the tips. And we have so much more expenses compared to you. You sit here and you answer phones and you make salads. You don't even clean the front end all the time. And she's like, well, when I'm manager, I'm going to make you do it. Anyway, so I told her, look, you can't legally do it. It's against the law. And she just won't drop it. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Now, this conversation took place about a week and a half before the Super Bowl. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to have myself some petty revenge. This is one of the times I am not proud of that I actually gave in. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to be a fucking petty asshole. So I went and talked with my shift lead about it. He's like, yeah, no, she's full of shit. She can't force you to do it. And I'm like, yeah, but she keeps bringing it up and it's starting to piss me off. He goes and talks to another shift lead who gets on my ass about being nasty to her. And I tell my other shift lead, well, she's trying to force me to give up my money, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. The other shift lead was one of her friends. I bided my time because I had a bit of a clever plan. Now, Super Bowl Sunday was about a week and a half away, but we also there's this filthy fucking rich guy that lives nearby, and he likes to order pizza. I don't know what he does, but he lives in a $2.5 million mansion in the nicest part of town. Now, if he orders a single 18-inch pizza, which runs about $30, he tips $50 to $100. The management hate it because every single time until the policy changed and he basically gave them written permission, they had to call him the next day every single time he ordered to confirm that he wanted to tip more than the value of the delivery. I got together with a few other of the drivers and we planned this all out. And this was absolutely petty of me, and I am not proud of it.
You should be proud of it.
I also had my personal shift lead on board. What we did was we bided our time and waited, and Super Bowl Sunday hit. The filthy rich guy orders, and what do you know? He's having a party, and he orders about $300 worth of pizza. Now, he gave me $200 bills along with the credit card tip. He doubled my tips on Super Bowl Sunday, which is known for being a big tip day. I normally ran $80 to $120. I walked away with $490 that night. The drivers knew I was going to do this, and so did my shift lead that I had dealt with. I go up to the front end of the night, start counting out my receipts, counting out my cash, and I start counting out my tips, and I call the boss over and go, "Hey, boss, that rich guy gave off a ludicrous tip again." And he goes, "How much was it?" $200. Oh, wow. What did he order? About $300 worth of pizza and wings. And it's like, oh boy, okay, well, I'll call him in the morning, usual routine. And then he knew what the plan was, so he asked me, "Usual routine then?" And I go, "Nah, not tonight." And since he was in on it, he acts all surprised and goes, "Oh, why not?" And I go, "Well, I'm annoyed with some people bugging me to forcibly share tip." And he goes, "Well, they can't do that. There's laws against it. You know that, right?" And I go, "Well, they seem determined to try." And he goes, "Okay, well, that's your call." And he does all the paperwork and gives me my tip for the night, about $490 worth. And I start heading for the door. Now, the cooks had also heard all of this, but these cooks are the ones who had generally benefited from me splitting some of my tips. So they were used to getting them, and they were not amused. They go to the shift lead about it after I walk out the door and ask what the fuck is going on. Because some of them had started to take that money for granted, and they were not happy that it suddenly wasn't being given out. And since I had told him, "Well, go ahead, tell them why I stopped if they ask," he told them. And now here's where it goes from irritating to funny. I had the next 2 days off, so I missed most of the following shitstorm. The girl who was bugging me about this actually filed a complaint that she was getting bullied about this and that I was organizing people to bully her. So I get called in on my day off. It's been 2 days since my last shift, and the owner is in the office, and he calls me in and goes, "What's this I hear about this?" And I let him have it. I tell him everything. He gets that look on his face of contemplation, and he tells me, "All right, thanks for telling me. You can go home today. I don't have any work for you." And he lets me leave. And I get out the door, and I'm like, am I in trouble? I didn't do anything illegal, did I? The next Friday, about a week and a half later, everyone is scheduled, and it's listed that there is a mandatory meeting. Everyone is to attend if they want to keep their job. And we're all there. All of us are there, and the owner walks in. And he walks in with this sheet of paper and sticks it on the whiteboard. And he tapes it up, and he points at it and goes, "It is against the law to force your coworkers to give you money. I have heard of people attempting to do this. And if I hear again about someone attempting to force an employee to give up their wages, I will be calling the IRS and the Labor Department, and there will be hell to pay." So the boss at that time was this Hispanic descent dude, and he could be fucking terrifying. But after that, I never heard another damn word about sharing my tips.
I wouldn't say that's petty. I'd say that's just putting somebody in their fucking place.
Well, getting the entirety of the store against them was a bit petty.
No, it's not. It's called teaching them a lesson. That's just what you did, was just put her in her place and make her realize that the world does not revolve around you, bitch.
She was like 17 or 18 too.
So
That's when they're at the worst.
From what I found out later, this kid had never been, denied money. Like, go to mom and dad, "Hey, I want to buy this." Okay.
She's a brat.
She had been spoiled, but this was a good wake-up call for her, apparently.
Yeah, especially hey, if I hear about this again, the IRS is getting involved. And we all know you don't with the IRS.
Even Batman's Joker was like, "What? The IRS? No. I might be evil, but the IRS is something completely different."
The IRS is something completely different, and I am not going to open that can of worms.
The exact line is, "I am crazy enough to mess with Batman, but the IRS?
No, thank you.
So, the one I was going to tell you, the "Don't Make Me Improvise." As you're aware, in the 1990s, Iraq, who had gotten a huge amount of loan from Kuwait to fight the Iraq-Iran war, decided, it is going to be cheaper for us to just invade and conquer Kuwait.
Instead of paying them back.
Yes. And, makes sense financially. If you can, control the bank, you don't have to worry about repaying the loan. But the UN decides, no. And they order Saddam Hussein that you will be out of Kuwait by this date or you will be removed. Well, the Air Force wants to win this war without putting a single man on the ground. But one of the problems is Saddam has this huge ass bunker that is over 100 feet deep and has reinforced concrete. There had not been a bunker buster bomb built to penetrate that. Precision laser munitions were good, but they didn't have the ability to go into that. So, Watervliet Arsenal decides to get creative, and they build what's known as the GBU-28. This was a 4,000-pound bunker busting penetrator. GBU stands for Guided Bomb Unit. What they used as the body of the bomb was 4 8-inch howitzer barrels that have already been heat treated, so they're especially resistant.
They made 4 bombs.
Yes,
Each bomb was 1 howitzer barrel.
yes. They did not have the ability to fill these things, so they went outside and dug a hole in the ground. Put the bomb in the hole, standing up, and poured the explosive in. And then, fresh paint, the dummy bomb goes out, gets tested on a C-130. Paint's not even dry. They load it on this C-130.
It's
Go
not
out,
even
drop
dry.
it in the
It's
desert.
not filled with explosive.
Sorry, the first one is a dummy.
It's filled with concrete.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
fill it with concrete. They go out into the desert, test it on a bomb range, and it just buries itself into the ground so deep that they cannot retrieve it.
Oh wow.
Or, well, they can't retrieve it in time.
Watervliet Arsenal, for the record, designed and built all of these things in 3 weeks.
Jesus Christ.
So the second one, they ship it to Florida for something. I don't remember
Yeah,
what.
they ship it to it was Nevada, Tonopah Test Range, and they put it on a rocket sled and shoot it at a
At a concrete
they
wall.
shoot it at a block of reinforced concrete that is 22 feet thick, and it goes through the concrete and has
And
enough
keeps
energy
going.
to continue going for a half mile into the desert.
Jesus Christ.
It's not tumbling, by the way. That's
No,
straight.
it's just going. And this is with the desert providing drag. So the final 2 bombs, which are actually filled with explosive, they ship off to what was it? They ship the bombs off to a nearby airfield that is, once again, drop it on a C-130 or C-17, ship it to the Gulf. And on February 27th and 28th, they load these things onto 2 F-111F aardvarks, and they go fly out and target one of these bunkers that might have Saddam. First one misses the target entirely. We don't know why, but the second one nails it. And the cameras from the F-111 show smoke just start pouring out of the bunkers.
Out of the bunker's air vents.
Yeah.
And
Let me see. Just a few hours later, Saddam Hussein accepted surrender negotiations.
now, we don't know if this is because of the bombs or because of the Army and Marines blitzing across the desert.
Oh yes, Stormin Norman Schwarzkopf, Vietnam veteran that decided, no, we aren't going to give the politicians enough time to fuck this up.
90 hours.
Yeah, 90 hours, and he dismantled the fourth most powerful military on the planet. When we
funny.
went back, into Iraq 15 years later, they thought that we were fucking mythical.
Yeah, the Iraqis were so freaking paranoid about what we might do that they basically defeated themselves in the initial stages of the 2003 invasion.
Yeah.
They basically defeated themselves.
One of my personal favorite rumors in the Iraqi army was that all of the canteens that the army and Marines used were laced with performance-enhancing drugs.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
They were
The
so
Iraqis
freaking
thought-
terrified of us.
The Iraqis thought American canteens were laced with performance-enhancing drugs.
Jesus.
Nah, that's just water. Water and American anger.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So once again, do not ever force the American military to improvise. It always ends badly.
We have to remember, other incidents of improvisation include The Thing.
Oh God. We'll have to do that for another story. Yeah, the
Yes.
Thing is fucking hilarious. And they gave it to the Marines.
Because the Army decided they didn't want it. And the Marines said, I'll take 300.
All right, I think we're getting too far off the rails here. So, once again, thank you everyone for coming. Shadow, as is tradition, can you take us out with some sort of terrible knowledge? You know, Skeletor idea?
Acts of terror have caused less deaths than all forms of vehicular accident. We will return next time.
See you
Until
guys.
we meet again.
See you guys next week.